Cracker Barrel bends the knee. President Trump holds a marathon cabinet meeting and even comments on the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce engagement. Here's the top 5 reasons Trump is trending today. Number 1 reason Trump is trending today, Cracker Barrel bends the knee as President Trump tells them, go back to the old logo. This morning, he posted up on Truth Social, Cracker Barrel should go back to the old logo, admit a mistake based on customer response, the ultimate poll, and manage the company better than ever before. They got $1 billion worth of free publicity if they play their cards right. Very tricky to do, but a great opportunity. Have a major news conference today. Make Cracker Barrel a winner again. And so, just within the last hour or so, Cracker Barrel, what did they do? They listened to President Donald Trump, who is a winner, and now I think they will be a winner as well. They just posted, we thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old-timer will remain. At Cracker Barrel, it's always been and always will be about serving up delicious food, on and on and on. They should have thanked President Donald Trump, but at least now wokeness has been defeated. The nonsense that we see coming from these people, the CEO, who was the place was burning down behind her, and she's like, oh, it's been overwhelmingly positive. They were frauds. They knew this was a big mistake. President Donald Trump told them to change it back, and they listened. Good for them. Number 2 reason Trump is trending today, we're going to hit now on the rest of these are going to be about the cabinet meeting, all right? Because this was a marathon cabinet meeting. Only President Donald Trump could do this. 3 hours and 17 minutes. This was an open to the press cabinet meeting where all the members of the cabinet went around the table. President Donald Trump answering question after question. Let me give you the few hitters from here, and we'll start out with the emphasis on combating crime. The Democrats, seem to want to hug a criminal. Trump wants to put them in prison. And what an amazing moment as one of the White House correspondents gives a chilling recount of being held up at gunpoint in Washington, D.C. This was Iris Tao. She told her story. She was held up at gunpoint and pistol whipped. A frightening experience. She never wanted to walk the streets of D.C. alone after this incident. Her family was concerned for her safety. She had just recently started her job there in Washington, D.C. when this happened 2 years ago or so, when the crime obviously is still out of control in D.C. until President Donald Trump put a stop to it. She thanked President Donald Trump like a sane person would do and announced that she is pregnant, expecting her first child. Awesome story to hear, and grateful that President Donald Trump cleaned up the crime. We hear this time after time again from people that are just thanking President Donald Trump from cleaning up the crime that's in D.C. He went even further, calling for the death penalty for murderers and praising deportations for slashing the crime as well. President Trump also went off on cashless bail, saying that was the root of all these problems when we started to see these repeat offenders. The Democrats, they want to knit a sweater for the repeat offenders. Trump wants to put them back in prison for good. And so he went off on the crime that's out of control. He also talked about ending sanctuary cities, which are a sanctuary for the criminals, and on and on. So number 3 reason we'll say Trump is trending. Back to the cabinet meeting. RFK really went viral talking about that he has figured out, or he has got a big major announcement to make about the cause of autism in our country that has exploded. Said he's going to make a big announcement next month in September that they've been working on. But some of the numbers he came up with there, saying in 1970, 0.7 in 10,000 new babies had autism. Today, 1 in 12 and a half boys are being diagnosed with autism. Something is radically wrong. Trump knows this. RFK Jr. knows this. Anybody with half a brain knows this. And so he is now going to make an announcement. RFK Jr. also talked about getting the cost of drugs down, the pharmaceutical drugs down, talked about the cost of medicine coming down. RFK Jr. continues his push to make America healthy again. Number 4 reason, we go back to the cabinet meeting. Trump talks about firing the Fed governor, Lisa Cook, because, it's been a disaster. And now you had one of the press reporters, I would call him an activist, try to gotcha question with President Donald Trump saying, oh, do you think you complained about the justice system being weaponized against you? Are you weaponizing the justice system? Talking about Trump's inquiry into her mortgage fraud accusations. As he says, no, but if you did your job, you're the one that should be doing this. You should be investigating whether or not this was mortgage fraud. You should be doing this, but you won't do it because you're fake news and you're an activist against President Donald Trump. He also called Jerome Powell too late, saying he needs to cut this rate. He's been on this guy. Jerome Powell finally looks like he'll bend the knee come September here and finally cut the rate and really just ignite this economy. Number 5 reason Trump is trending today, we'll go back to the cabinet meeting. The Ukraine push for peace he talked about. Unfortunately, for all the World War III doomsdayers, they were upset today as there's no push for World War III, only a push for peace. President Donald Trump, they keep pressing him on whether or not he's going to press hard against Vladimir Putin. And Trump said he is laser focused on ending the Ukraine-Russia war, and there will be heavy economic sanctions on Russia if they don't come to the table and end this. He talked about just wanting to preserve life and end all this nonsense. So people keep pushing for World War III, Trump pushing for peace. He's ended all these other conflicts, at least 7 of them. He wants to chalk another one up on the board, and we pray that he can get it done. Just a couple of bonus points, a couple of laughs today. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, said, "This is my most memorable Labor Day because I got 4 jobs." He cracked up the cabinet. Trump commented on the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce engagement, that announcement, that news broke during the marathon cabinet meeting. One of the reporters asked for his comment. He said, "I wish them a lot of luck. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great guy. And I think that she's a terrific person. So I wish them a lot of luck." Class act from President Donald Trump. That's the best take he could have had, and you love to see it. I mean, the cabinet meeting overall was an absolute banger. Just a few of the other things before I get you out of here. Rollback on diesel regulations, deregulations of environmental policies, immigration wins, deportation savings, debanking investigators, energy prices decline, including diesel, movement on drug prices. We talked about the autism. ODNI reformed and classified documents released, and much more. It was a powerhouse cabinet meeting, a transparent cabinet meeting. They are winning. It is a great team that President Donald Trump has assembled. I love watching it go down. This cabinet meeting was certainly one for the books. Can't wait for the next one. If you can't wait for the next Trump is Trending, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you can see why Trump is trending each and every day.
Trump is trending, he's everywhere. From the news to the cafe, he's in our